Hey everyone, and welcome to the Digital Dive, where we, dive deep into those fascinating digital topics that you send our way.
Always exciting to see what bubbles up.
Right. And this time you sent in a bunch of stuff about this AI company, DeepSeek, and their ChatGPT competitor, R1,
Yeah, it's been hard to miss.
definitely making a splash.
Ugh.
So where do we even begin with this one? What makes them so different?
Well, they've got this AI model, R1,
Yeah.
and it's like ChatGPT, but the price tag is way lower, like game-changingly affordable.
Okay, cheaper AI, I mean, that's got to be appealing. But how big of a deal is it really?
Think about it. Small businesses, startups, anyone who couldn't afford AI before. Now they can access this powerful tech. It could completely change the game.
So it's not just about saving money. It's about opening up these tools to everyone. That's huge.
Exactly. It's shaking things up. And that's why DeepSeek's rise is so disruptive. It's forcing the big players to rethink everything.
A real shakeup. But with such a fast rise, there are bound to be some hiccups.
Yeah.
And DeepSeek definitely hit one with that cyber attack.
Yeah, this attack is really interesting because it highlights a crucial aspect of AI cybersecurity. DeepSeek had a major service outage. New users couldn't even register.
And this is their longest outage in 90 days, right?
That's right. And what's concerning is that security researchers had already pointed out some potential vulnerabilities in their platform.
So there were red flags before this even happened. What kind of vulnerabilities?
Things like prompt injection and cross-site scripting XSS flaws. Imagine tricking the AI into running code it shouldn't. That's prompt injection.
So basically manipulating the AI to do something bad.
Pretty much. And then with XSS, it's about exploiting weaknesses in the website itself, like a hacker injecting a script that steals your login or sends you to a bad website, all without you even realizing it.
This is getting serious.
Yeah.
So it's not just about the AI itself, it's about the whole system around it. So was DeepSeek targeted because of these vulnerabilities?
It's definitely possible. Rapid growth can mean cutting corners on security, especially when you're rushing to market.
So they might have been so focused on launching that they left themselves exposed.
It's a possibility. So this cyber attack, it's not just a DeepSeek problem. It's a reminder that as AI gets bigger, security has to be a top priority.
Absolutely. And this is where it gets even more interesting because it connects to another big issue, to data privacy. And the comparisons to TikTok are kind of hard to ignore.
Yeah, that's a sensitive topic for sure. Those concerns about user data potentially ending up with the Chinese government.
And the article you sent mentions Gal Ringel, the CEO of a data privacy company called Mine. He says the risks with DeepSeek might be even higher than with TikTok. Okay, so what makes DeepSeek potentially riskier?
Think about what R1 is processing. It's not just personal stuff like on social media. It's businesses using this AI, feeding it sensitive information, trade secrets, strategic plans, financial data.
So the potential for a major leak is huge.
It is. And then you add the fact that DeepSeek is a Chinese company operating under different rules. It raises questions about data security and where that data might end up. This isn't about blaming anyone. It's about understanding the situation and the potential risks.
This is a lot to unpack. We've got this groundbreaking AI with amazing potential. But then there's the cyber attack and these worries about data privacy. It's like a digital thriller in real life.
And we haven't even gotten to what the cybersecurity experts have to say. Their insights are really fascinating. So let's dive into what the experts are saying about this DeepSeek attack. It really sheds light on the bigger picture of cybersecurity.
Yeah, I'm curious to hear their take.
One of the articles you sent quotes Eric Cron. He's a security awareness advocate at KnowBe4. He brings up this thing called the CIA Triad: confidentiality, integrity, and availability. These are like the core principles of cybersecurity.
Okay, I remember you talking about confidentiality and integrity before. But how does availability fit in?
Well, Cron argues that even though data breaches and confidentiality get all the headlines, availability is just as important. It's all about making sure that systems and data are accessible to the right people when they need them.
So in DeepSeek's case, that outage during the attack, that directly impacted availability. Users couldn't access R1. That must have been a nightmare for anyone trying to use it.
Absolutely. And Cron makes a good point. These attacks can have serious consequences. Businesses rely on these services. Any disruption can mean lost money and damage to their reputation. And sometimes these attacks are used for extortion, forcing companies to pay up to get their systems back online.
So someone could be holding DeepSeek hostage, demanding a ransom. That's straight out of a cybercrime movie.
It's a real possibility. And it's not just about criminals. Competitors could be involved too. Imagine a rival AI company trying to sabotage DeepSeek, or investors trying to protect their own interests. Cybersecurity can be a cutthroat game.
Wow. So it's not just about protecting data. It's about making sure systems are strong enough to withstand these attacks?
Exactly. And then we have Toby Lewis, Global Head of Threat Analysis at Darktrace. He offers a different perspective. He thinks DeepSeek might be a victim of their own success. It's called the slash dot effect.
The slash dot effect. I've never heard of that.
It's when a website gets flooded with traffic all of a sudden, usually because it went viral or got a ton of publicity, like a digital stampede. Everyone's trying to get in, and the system gets overwhelmed.
Ah, okay. So DeepSeek servers might not have been ready for that huge wave of new users, making them more vulnerable.
Exactly. And Lewis says because they launched so quickly, they might not have had time to fix all the security holes. Bigger platforms have had years to build up their defenses.
So DeepSeek's rapid growth might have been their downfall. They were so focused on getting their product out there
Yeah.
that they forgot about the basics.
That's one way to look at it. But Lewis also warns against dismissing security concerns altogether. Even the big guys with all the fancy security measures, they can still be targets. This threat landscape is always changing. It's hard to stay ahead of the game.
So what's the answer? How can companies like DeepSeek protect themselves and their users in this crazy digital world?
Well, both experts agree that security has to be a top priority from the very beginning. It's not something you tack on at the end. It needs to be part of the process from day one. They also stress the importance of having a solid security plan, being constantly on guard, and creating a culture of security awareness within the company.
So it's a multi-pronged approach, not just about building walls, but about having the right mindset and adapting to new threats.
Precisely. And this leads us to the big question. What does all this mean for us, the everyday users of AI? Should we be worried? And what can we do to protect ourselves?
So much to think about. DeepSeek's rise, the Cyberattack, all those data privacy questions. It's like a digital roller coaster. So where do we go from here? What does all this mean for the future of AI? Is it all sunshine and roses, or should we be a little cautious?
It's probably a bit of both. DeepSeek's story really shows us the good and the bad of AI. On one hand, we've got this amazing potential for innovation and progress, like R1 and how affordable it is. It's opening up AI to so many more people.
Right. It's making AI accessible to everyone, not just the big players.
Exactly. But on the other side, as AI becomes more powerful and everyone's using it, those risks we talked about, cybersecurity, data privacy, misuse, they become even bigger problems.
Like we're giving everyone these incredibly powerful tools, but are we really ready to handle them? So how do we navigate all of this? How do we find the balance between progress and responsibility?
That's the question, isn't it? And I think DeepSeek's experience gives us a valuable lesson. It reminds us that security and ethics can't be an afterthought. They need to be built into AI from the ground up.
So it's not enough to just create amazing AI. It has to be done the right way.
Exactly. And that responsibility goes beyond the developers. It's on us, the users, too. We need to be informed. We need to ask the tough questions. Where's my data going? How are they using it? What kind of security do they have in place?
So we need to be proactive, not just assume everything's fine and dandy.
Exactly. We have to be involved in shaping the future of AI, not just sitting back and letting it happen. And that means demanding transparency from companies, holding them accountable, pushing for rules and regulations that protect users and make sure AI is developed responsibly.
So it's a team effort. We all have a part to play in making sure AI is used for good, not just for profit or progress at any cost.
Couldn't have said it better myself. The future of AI depends on all of us working together, being aware and committed to doing things the right way. We can't just sit back and watch.
Well said. So as we resurface from this deep dive into DeepSeek, I want to leave you with this thought. As AI becomes more and more a part of our lives, what role do you want to play in shaping its future? How will you make sure it's used responsibly?
It's something to think about, for sure. And until next time, stay curious and stay informed.